Hey, welcome aboard. Okay, so today I'm going to be, let's close this. See my cool stuff back there on my couch. Cool. Anyway, so today I'm going to be preparing some star systems for Free Spacer. Cool. Oh, let's, no. So, what we're making are star systems. So this is a system map. It is a 2D map. Shows at the center the core of the system. So stars, a star, black holes. Who knows? Could be anything. So first thing we need to do, we're going to be making a new Titan. Actually, it's one of several we're going to make, but probably just going to make a new Titan on stream because might not be the most exciting thing to watch. Okay, so we're going to make a new Titan, which you can see here is in PN062. And that is right here. There you go, pinged for y'all. 62. That is where the players currently are in the current game. We probably will also make 60, PN60, and perhaps this one here, which is PN037. They're a bit similar because they all happen to be main sequence stars. You can tell it's a circle with a dot, a small dot in it, small solid dot. These ones with the double circles down here are great stars. Are giants, great. Are giants, and the weird ones here with the really large black circle inside them, they are compact stars. There are a couple other types. There's also nebula that they could be, but we have a very exploration-based system, so we'll likely have to be making a lot of star systems the players won't get to see right away. So that will be coming up in the future. But today we're going to make these three because that's where the players are dealing with a terrorist incident, which is another faction striking at both the patron of the characters and the main power in New Titan, which is XMI or Zumi Musk Intergalactic, which is right here. Zumi Musk Intergalactic. They're a colonization gate company, big corporation. Players work for them. Terrible, terrible shells that they are. Okay, cool. So let's go back to the thing. So we know it's in 062 and it's main sequence star. That's pretty much all we need to know. We know what sector it's in, New Titan, and fill this in. So PN stands for Prime North. You've got hub, prime, and then on the edge. And it's supposed to be a big cone, which is why you get that crazy shape of the X map. Anyways, I think it's cool. So, we're talking a main sequence star, and I've already started rolling up a couple of things here, so let's go to the book. Okay, so we choose our stars as part of the sector map creation. And part of creating the sector, we choose what star is in each system. And then when we get down to system map creation, we have the core, we figure out some more details about it, and we figure out all the planets and satellites and so on and so forth that are there. So we have compact cores. Here's our main sequence. So I just rolled last time during gameplay that because the players needed to know, and I determined that we had a F spectral class star, which is a white star, and then we got some details, the temperature of the star, that's always fun, the displacement of the star, because everything in the galaxy really matters for displacement, because that's how 0-point technology works. So we have that down, 3,400 gigatons. That's big, it's a star. And the radius of the star, which is 900,000 kilometers. Cool. Let's add one of these in here. I like these in my numbers. Okay, so we know the star. The way that system generation goes, you fill out stuff on the chart. You start with the core. Then you go to the different orbital regions. Scrolling through, and here are the different orbital regions. So first we need to know how many zones are per star and that sort of thing. Well, I've already marked that in here. When you have a main sequence star, you get 3 zones per region. So there are there's an inner, middle, outer, and rim regions of the system, and each is divided into 3 zones. Each zone is pretty much an orbit. You put a planet or something in like 3/4 of them. So we need to determine what's in each of them. So we'll start rolling some dice, and if we get to 3/4 before we roll all of them, I mean the first one's none, so it should take care of that for us, but it happens quite often that you'll roll lots and lots of high numbers and never get any of those. So let's get here and start rolling some random charts. We will be making we know there's some habitable star. There is at least 2 habitable planets or moons in the system. We've said that one is an orbital body. We haven't said what size it is or anything like that. So we just know we need one of those. And we can flip down to tags and find out where the habitable bodies are. It is a F class, so it's in the middle region. It's a F, G, K, or M main sequence star. Yeah, these charts are always screwy. Okay, which is a middle system. So we'll be marking that tag at the end, but we could write it down right now. Sure, why not? So tags in FreeSpacer are pretty much the things that you take into account as a player or as a GM, but don't necessarily act as a threat. They are things like the fact that it's habitable, or cover in a cover scene. And so in those, players might be able to use that to their advantage. We might have some other tags that I'll be placing in the different zones, or even region-wide based on the star. If it was like a pulsar, we'd probably be putting intermediate or radiation pulses or neutron radiation pulses in the system for sure, because that'd be cool and the players would have to deal with that during travel as a tag. But when you go down into an encounter, those radiation could be a deadly thing to deal with, so it's super fun. Okay, so let's go back up to the beginning. Because we already know there's habitable planet and we're doing it this way, or we have to mark this tag in advance so that we know what we're doing. So we are making we're going to start with the first system, or the first region of the system. And let's roll some D100s. And of course, I write that backwards every single time the first time I do it. And it's a 74. Okay, so the first thing that we're putting in the inner system is a carbon planet, or carbon body. Okay, so we got some symbols here for fun. Where's carbon? There we go. There's the carbon icon. It's freaking massive. So I'm going to set dimensions on it. Set them all to 20 by 20. Maybe that'd be a good size. There we go. Oh, what size are these? 24 by 24. I'm going to set this to 30 by 30. It's supposed to be a star. Unless it was bigger. Let's go bigger than that. No, that's gonna be too big. Let's go 40 by 40. What about that? That'd be bigger. Gotta see the star. There. Boom. Okay, so BN 062, the Star of New Titan, is right there, and there. Okay, so according to what we're doing, we're putting the type down, and we're going to be marking each with the symbol, which we did, and the first letter. So we start with A, because we need to be able to identify each of them. Okay, A. And we're going to copy this same symbol and be putting it down in the, down here. Now, we want to make them smaller so they fit down here. Go 10 by 10 for the legend. Oh, might be a bit small. And I love the pinging. I'm always pinging. Okay, so 10A. And we know it's carbon body. So we're putting our type here. So we're just going to type carbon in here. Okay, we don't know what size it is. We don't determine that until after, and we haven't named it yet. We'll do that all at the end. Okay, so first is carbon body. Now let's do that again. Roll another D100. What's next? 76. Wow. Don't tell me it's the same thing again. That's another carbon body? Wow. So this is a funny little setup where we got several little carbon bodies in a row. I'm sure the original peoples of this area, first people saw it, was like, oh, that's a bit odd. Okay, so we're going to copy that. Paste it down here. Change the size, we know what size. Set dimensions to 15 by 15. Just so it fits inside this little. Okay, might be easier if we turn the grid on for this. Okay, so enabling the grid, but at point 1 it's really irritating, so and then we just turn it down so we don't see it. There we go. Now they'll just tend to be together, or they'll tend to be too high and not be able to go low. I thought I set it to 0.05 units. I think I went to 0.01 units. Did this on another one, and it worked great. Okay, turning that back off. I really wish Roll20 just had a system where you could tell them to line up like in InDesign and all that. Okay, so this is another carbon body, so we copy this. Okay, let's roll something besides the I-70s. There we go, 16. That is nothing. Okay, so we want 3/4 of this to have something in it. So we're up to 3/4 of a can. That is also nothing. So we got 2 carbons at the beginning and then nothing else in the inner. Okay, now we move on to the middle. See, it's real quick actually. So the middle is like this. So show you the page again. We place 2 carbons in the inner and we're placing some in the habitable middle. Now we're gonna want some of these to be habitable bodies. So we got lots of choices. Basically anything that's not a chaotic will do. So let's roll again. And 80. Oh, an ocean world. That is exactly what I need. Because I described an ocean world. I am lucky. Okay. So we go back here and I've got ocean symbol here. Ocean icon. Okay, so setting dimensions to 20 by 20. That's what we decided to work. You know, these are pretty small. Let's set all the dimensions slightly higher. Let's go to 25 by 25 for these ones. And then we're going 15 by 15 for the below ones. I know, it's very exciting. There we go. Okay, that looks better, more visible. It's amazing how 5 make quite a difference. And roll 20. Okay, so planet C here in the middle of the habitable zone is an ocean body labeled C. Boom. Okay. Cut those ones out. Copy and then paste here. Yeah, 156 would have been a little bit extreme. So it's fact that it wouldn't be square. Okay, so we got ocean body. What's next? Go back here. $49. Let's look at the book. 49 is a Cthulhian world. Well, that's kind of cool. No, it's not that. Cthulhian worlds where you have a gas giant or a ocean planet, any sort of fluidic world, and something happens and it blows all the crap off the planet, and you're just left with that little nugget. It's the nougat of worlds. So this little nougat world, which unfortunately they called it the Cthulhian world because I guess Cthulhu is pretty popular and it makes no sense to me. But they are pretty screwed up little worlds, so perhaps that's why. And we're going to change this size to, well, they are kind of small, so let's actually change it. See, that's why this is 40 instead of 60. It's supposed to be smaller. Let's just change it to 20. They're chaotic worlds, so they don't actually get a size. So this is always going to be just a Cthulhian world. And we didn't write it in down there. We will in a second for both of these. D. Okay. So we'll copy this one. And we'll write in what these are. Still go with, we'll go with 12 actually. So it looks smaller down here too, because that'd be nice. It's basically an asterisk, so it's pretty easy to, it's like an asterisk, but I made it. Yeah, I made some of the art for this. Lisa, my artist, made most of the art, but when it comes to iconography, I'm okay at that. I guess it's something that bled off from video game design. I don't know. One of those things. Okay, so this is an ocean world. It's probably going to make sure it's habitable, make it the planet. Or planet Har, or maybe even just maybe a giant that the players are on. And then we have to remember how to spell Cthulhu. Fortunately, I have it on the page right here. Gonna get the king of switching pages at the right time. Sooner or later. I see why most people don't bother showing the book on air. They just show this page. I might do that for a bit too. Okay, so we got two more. Let's roll to see what they are. Ooh, nothing. That comes out to a none. Everything below 30 is a none. Oh, a 49. 49 is... I wanted another world here, so that's good. Okay. I'm going to put this one off because I want something habitable. Did I really roll the same thing twice in a row? No, that one was cosmic dust. Okay. Let's roll high. 95. Silicate world. Yay! Everybody loves Silicate world. We live on a Silicate world. Okay, so Silicate. There's a Silicate icon. Add in place down here. Change its size. 25 by 25. Label it, or give it all ACDE. Okay, so we've got our worlds, and I'm going to change the color of this tag because it just occurred to me it would be cool in like a blue or something because it's habitable, maybe in a green. That's not bright enough. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to copy that one down here. And I really wish you didn't have to cut and paste in this too. Let's drop this to 15. Which is the size we're using for everything down here. That is a proper world, not a chaotic body. Chaotic bodies are other things. Like you get the Cthulhu worlds, you have asteroid belts, you have all that sort of stuff. Comets. There we go. Okay, so that's the metal. We're trucking along. Let's look at the book for the outers rim. Of course, that goes over a page. That's what always happens. Okay, so we'll go back and to presentation. And what are we making? $84. It's a coreless. See, the reason they're different for each sector is, or each region, is it's going to look different. The outer, you want a better chance of big gas giants and stuff. So, although you will have coreless, little coreless guys like this appearing as well. Set those dimensions to 25. Okay, so we just need a letter F. Okay. Move everything down a little bit. Get some headroom on it. Okay, so we got F, and that was our chorus. Let's copy these. Can't use the keyboard for that. Non-roll 20. Be too convenient. There are some keyboard shortcuts. I just don't really know them. There's a question mark there that shows them. Mostly stuff that I don't tend to do a lot of. Probably not using Roll20 exactly right. Happens when you do indie games. You're always trying to do weird stuff with tools. Okay, so chorus. Okay. We're getting a move on. We'll be coming back here and giving them all sizes soon. Okay, chorus. Uh, 78. Oh, a carbon world. Nice. Got those already, so we'll just copy one of these. This system is just full of carbon worlds and little chunks of terrestrial bodies. So FG is next. I really wish that would stop popping up. Okay, so what's next? Oh, we should probably put it down here then. Let's copy that, paste the whole thing over here. Get everything centered. You gotta click where it's centered. That's a trick they don't tell you. So that should be a G. There we go. Okay, so let's do one more. Something cool. Let's get a gas giant. Oh, it's a 7. So a nothing. And maybe a gas giant. Another nothing. I'm gonna put a gas giant or gas planet in there. Let's put a gas planet in. It's just lame not having one. Although I'm mostly having 3s, but I want a gas planet. It's pretty simple. Dimensions to 25. Show a song for that. GH. Okay, copy this, paste it here. Set dimensions to 15. In a lot of editing software, there's import settings you can set. So if you know you always want something to be one way, when you move in and out of here, it automatically changes it. whatever you've chosen. That'd be really useful here. So I could just reset them every time I did it. I'd be like, oh, every time I pull them from there, make it 25. Okay. So, final area. Let's go back to the book. We're looking at the rim. And then we're going to be doing sizes. Okay, so the rim is full of awesomeness. Look at that. Okay, let's roll up some rim stuff. Okay, pressing up on there, and we got a 83. In the rim, 83 is ice. Okay. Now the symbol for this is pretty awesome. Took a true artist to create a symbol for an ice world. There we go. It's a ice cube. Look at that. Truly creative. That's why you're a game designer. Actually, creativity is not exactly a requirement for game designer. Not that I'm not creative, I'm actually very creative. But it's not exactly what you would call requirement. Most of the time, you want to think of all the things that people are going to think of more than you want to think about new and exciting different things. Especially if you're not in a main position or anything. You just want to be able to go, okay, well, people will recognize this. Oh, I hate using eyes. Because eyes look like ones. They look like dashes. We're going to use a J. I'm just going to skip I altogether. There's no I planet. No I world at all. There you go. Okay, so... Anyways, yes, so you, that would really require you a lot of game design to be particularly creative. I'd say that that's even more for my cousin profession of user design. Sometimes creativity really comes in handy when you invent a new way of doing something, like whoever invented some of the spinners for Apple and stuff. But most of the time, you just want to have a good idea what your user will expect so that they always get what they expect, so they always know how everything works without even having to learn. That's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. I, though, like most game designers, think creativity is pretty cool, and that doing something new is a really cool thing to do, so I often do that. So, what is next? $60. A comet. Cool, that means there's a comet. It's a common comet in this system. It's going to be flying around. The slot, when it comes to comets, is a little less... matters a little less. So we're going to set this to smaller, because obviously it is smaller. So we're going to be setting it to... set the height to 20. Oh, they're not, it's not square. That's really hard. I have to do math. Oh, that's close enough. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And give it a letter. So this means there's a JK, a large comet that's here all the time. It's not always going to be found here. It's going to fly through the whole system. But you got to put it in one of the spots, right? this is kind of like its origin point or something like that. It's a position you can, as a player, always kind of look to see whereabouts it is. Comets and stuff can only really happen out here, because wasting an inner spot for it is less useful. And besides, it's awesome to have when your players are flying out of the system. They can fly up past a comet, and you're like, okay, you soar past this beautiful white comet as it flares its icy materials into the... Oh. Well, fortunately, I'm not playing with other people, so I don't really care about that part. They are not on board right now. But it makes a nice description. You can always do the Voyager thing and fly past a comet. I saw the Orville did that. It's pretty funny. Okay. Rolling up one more at least. That is an 18. That is none. I guess we're rolling 2. That's why I said at least. Also none. There you go. All the orbital bodies in the system laid out in front of you. There's new Titan for you. But that's not very complicated. That's not very interesting. So what we're going to be doing is adding some satellites. But first, let's determine how big each world is. So, fluid worlds. If we look in the book, it's done by the type of world. We determine the size. So chaotic bodies don't have sizes. That's what that little thing means. But all the worlds do. So fluidic bodies. So we'll start with the ice body because it's the first on our list. We're going to be calling that a... Ooh. It is a ice small body. It's tiny. Little small body. That means it's all bumpy. It probably didn't clear its own orbit. It can't clear its own orbit in any way. But it's big enough that they put it out there. Let's make it a little smaller to represent that. That'll be fun. There we go. Okay, so we've got two other fluid bodies. They're on the next chart. And let's go back to presentation. Okay, see the charts. I'll buy a book for that. 83. They are pretty small too. The ocean body is an 83. Ooh, that's a planetar. Now, this should have marked whether or not it can be habitable, so don't choose a world that can't be. So I'm going to jump into the world section and double check that, because I want to use this world. Planetars are a bit large. There is a habitable section in world somewhere. I know I moved it there. Oh. Surface gravity. Okay, so we need to make sure that is between 0 and 4. I don't know if we can have a planetar with surface gravity that low. Planetars are massive. Well, where's surface gravity? Here we go, surface gravity. Small bodies, blah, 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 blah. This section needs to be worked on a little bit. I'll be doing that soon. Look at that, see? As a ocean planet, it's going to be double. So we can't go with that. So we're going to make that this gas body out here. We're not using it for anything. Having a massive planetar is really cool. So planetar is bigger than a giant. It's It's a term that's commonly used. It's not an official astronomy term. They just all call them all giants. There's no stratification. Planetar is like one of those proposed terms that are kind of used mostly by science fiction people and not really by scientists yet. I think they're going to take it on because it's pretty fucking cool, but we'll see. Yeah, so they I use it here because I like it, and it also gives differentiation. Otherwise, my giants would go from tiny to massive, and I'd have like 20 classes of giants, and it would be kind of silly. So it works really well. Okay, let's determine what size this ocean body is. I needed something habitable. Come on, giant. 47. Let's get back to that section where we're supposed to be in the book. Giants can guess. Ocean giant, as long as it is below class 5, can totally be habitable. Okay, so going to worlds, ocean, talking 40s, it is a giant. Okay, so we're doing an ocean giant. Everybody loves ocean giants. I think I actually said that the gravity was kind of high in this world, but I doubt the players will remember, so I can change it. I won't care. It's not like I made them roll a bunch of things based on it. Okay, so that ocean giant is going to be the main planet of New Titan, which I need to name. I don't want a New Titan and New Titan. Let's call it. I think it wouldn't be too bad if I called it something like Titania or something like that. But let's keep moving on with our sizing and stuff. Okay, so terrestrial worlds is next. So we got different sizes of terrestrial worlds. Iron bodies tend to be smaller. You don't have giant or iron planetars. It's just too massive. Okay, I don't know why that window is so tiny. It does that every once in a while. Okay, so we are talking about doing all of these planets. So we're going to start with carbons. The first 2 carbons, let's see their size. Oh, it's going to be a big one, 96. Oh, there's lots of planetars in this section. 96. Oh, it's a giant. Carbon giant. Whoa, it's probably spinning real fast. So close to this. The main sequence, the white star. Oh, that was supposed to be a giant. Got planetars on my head. Okay, carbon giant. And say hi to my watcher. And that's actually the artist. Okay, so who is next? Let's do another one of these terrestrial bodies. Oh, that's going to be a little more reasonable. Okay, that is a carbon planet. All stuff in the middle are totally reasonable. So we have. And this planets are a very specific size. Okay, we got silicate. This isn't exactly in a habitable zone, but maybe I could put something around it and put some stuff in it. Might be kind of cool. But let's see what size it is first. Ooh, it's big. Okay, well, I guess it won't be. No, let's make that this outer carbon. Because that is supposed to be my other one that I want habitable. All the dice rolls get used. I just get to choose where they are because I'm the GM. 30. Okay, according to the book, 30 is a dwarf. That's interesting. Yeah. So, what we've got here is a silicate dwarf. Dwarves are smaller than Earth. They don't tend to always clear their neighborhoods. Pluto's a dwarf. The moon is a dwarf in size, if not in usage. Okay, we got one more left here. Let's see what that is. 21. We're talking a carbon coreless dwarf. Wow, the outer zone is very extreme. You have a coreless dwarf and then 2 planetars. Boom, boom, massive. Cool. All the sizes for all the orbital bodies are in. Okay. Now's when you probably would want to take a break or something. But let's keep trucking. I'll finish the system and then we'll call it a go. And I'll come back later to finish the other systems that I need to. Okay, so we're going to be making satellites now. So, satellites are based on the planets they're around, or the orbital bodies they're around. So the stuff at the top, these are orbital bodies, down here are satellites. It says planetary body, should say orbital body. Typo. Okay, so for each zone, and there's always 5, we're going to roll and find out what we get. Okay, 67. And so we are doing this giant first. So it's a very different chart. So if we peek at the chart here, giant at 67 is a dwarf. So we decided it's going to be a dwarf, and then we go straight down here and roll what type of dwarf it is. 63. A gas dwarf? Well, that don't make no sense. That shouldn't be on that list. I found a typo. Okay, so let's go with an ice dwarf. There's going to be issues once in a while. Okay, so move an ice dwarf over here. Okay, so the lettering and stuff for satellites is quite different. So what we do is we know which planet it's around. It's around A, and then we give it a number, A1. So the planet's listed, and then this is a dwarf. Okay, so it's an ice dwarf, and I gotta remember to go back to fix that gas planet. It shouldn't be on that list. 23. That's a none. Okay, so the second slot is free. So, oh yeah, we should make sure we put this in here, shouldn't we? Okay, so that's just a little bit too close to the line. Okay, A1. So this next one's empty. And the next one is also empty. And this one is a dust ring. Nice. Okay. We get symbol for the dust ring out of files. Cosmic dust, here we go. It's just 2 little lines, and we change the size to 15 actually, because we want it smaller because the satellites. That goes down here. And it gets labeled as A2. Okay, so we'll copy that. There's our dust ring. So we get a cool dust ring. Everybody loves dust rings. Cool. Okay, next. "42, meaning life. Silicate. Okay, so we're doing oh, it's supposed to be the first one. 42 is a nice ring. Cool. So we'll go back down here, and that icon is real similar. It's just the ice body and the dust ring symbols inside each other. That was a little bit smaller in the other ring, doesn't it? The dimension is slightly higher. There we go, that's more visible. This is A3. So we got kind of a little Saturn right on the edge here, trucking away close to the sun. Kind of got a very Arctic thing going on in New Titan so far. Because you see, a carbon planet could be like black. I mean, it could be a giant freaking diamond in space. Probably a real dirty one if it was. Probably have lots of diamonds on them. Because, you know, it's carbon and things get compressed with the weight. Okay, one more. Oh, 99. Cool. So we're talking 3 small bodies. Now, always make them the same. We'll just figure out what those small bodies are on the second chart. $100. Oh, that's kind of neat. Don't know why I rolled the extra die. But, oh, 100 is 3 carbon bodies around a carbon giant. That's interesting, I guess. So we'll just copy this and paste it. Three times. So I actually take them and you just place them pretty close together. There you go. You've got a triple moon. Kind of moon flies around in a little formation, which happens in space. A group of satellites kind of stick together. Okay, so they're 3 small bodies, so we know that they're carbon small bodies. So we're going to copy this shape first. These are not as small as I would normally go. Let's So taking up too much space. Okay. It's one of the reasons I fill out the words, because then it doesn't matter so much if it's all small. I usually do them at a little bit of an angle when I draw it by hand. Oh. I do not like how easy it is to change shape and size of stuff with just a mouse click sometimes in this program. Okay, so A4 is that. Fine. So we're going to copy A4. Might need to make the little space for things a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're talking 3 carbon small bodies. Done. Okay, now for the carbon planet. Okay, so back to the book. Planets have their own selection. See, there's no ice in there. It's ocean though. Probably should remove a couple of those. Unless we like the idea of ocean moons. Okay, so what's the first thing around this planet? Nothing. That's a lot of 100s. Funny. 28. Also nothing. 21. Also nothing. 99. 3 small bodies. So B1 is way the hell down here. Okay, let's roll up what our small body is. Okay, well, I guess we can just copy this. Okay, and we're going to change this to a B1. Okay, so there it is. Out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so what's the next thing we got going on? 54. Okay, so as we can see here in the book, 54 is a dwarf. Okay, what type of dwarf are we talking? 19. Talking a coreless dwarf. Okay, so we got coreless right here, I believe. Yes, indeed. So this is going to be B2. Change this size to 15. Alright. Let's copy this and put it down in the thing. And we got one more to do. Okay, so this was a coreless dwarf. So a coreless planet, or a coreless body of any sort, does not have a heavy core. Our planet, Earth, is a silicate planet, class 4, I believe, according to my selection on it. It's class 4, so it's class 4 silicate planet, and it has a core of iron. Now, according to scientific research and experimentation, they suspect that during its formation it got hit by another planet or another body, and the iron core from that body merged. That's why you have such a large one with such a good magnetic field, unlike Mars, whose magnetic field kind of sucks. And that is why we are a silicate, class 4 silicate planet, and we're orbited by a coreless dwarf moon, which is Earth, or which is our moon, and or Luna, and we got our moon as our only satellite because it was part of the creation of the Earth, which is interesting, I think. So, if we weren't hit by the moon, if that body, whatever it looked like before it smashed into us in a molten state, hadn't hit us, we probably would not have a very strong magnetic field necessarily. Also, the moon protects us from all sorts of things, so it's pretty fortunate. Life may not exist if those two rocks had not hit each other. Kind of extraordinary. Okay, what's the final one for this interior? 98. Ooh. Now 3 more small bodies. Fine. 3 more small bodies. Let's hope there's something besides carbon. Getting bored of carbon. It's not even that common on the thing. On this list. Oh, it's another coreless. Okay, but 3 coreless. So, let's just write that in first. 3 coreless small bodies. Now seriously, if you look at the book, right here, you look, it's not that easy to come up with them. Let's make this a little smaller, so there we go. Not so crowded. And we probably don't need this. Cool. Okay. So, we've got 3 coreless bodies. We need to take this coreless from above it and copy it. Paste it. And resize it. I believe I did 12 before, because when you gotta put 3 of them to each other, they don't exactly fit. I may have to create a symbol for this. That's separate. It's so funny that when you do stuff that's for tabletop stuff like this, you don't always make it so it's as easily repeatable in digital format. I don't know if many people, a lot of people know this, but as soon as you try to set up stuff for Roll20, there's a lot of stuff you might not have thought of. I actually redid a ton of my character sheets and stuff because of the way that they, the way that I learned what was wrong with it based on trying to do the Roll20 sheets. It's a lot of wishy-washiness that you let go in sheets. You don't really realize is wishy-washy until you try to make it fully digital. This This might be one of those things. Okay, so we get this selection. At this size, they do look a little bit like the other shapes. There we go. The inner region is entirely done. Well, we might add some tags after. We already got one. We'll see. Okay, we have our ocean giant. This place needs to have a name. Some of these other ones probably should have names too. Not necessarily the moons, because who cares? Let's see what sort of moons our ocean giant has. Giant floating ocean. Okay, in the book, as you can see, that is a dust ring. Cool. I did not give that description, but I will definitely open with it next time. Dust ring. Fortunately, we have a dust ring over here. We'll relabel that as C1. So things like rings and stuff, I never bother naming. I suppose you could. Okay, so what size is this? Set dimension. Probably need to be a little bit smaller. There we go. So, dust ring, what's next? 68, according to the book. We're doing a planet. No, we're doing a giant. An ocean giant, a 68 is a dwarf. Okay, let's roll to see what type of dwarf it is. Okay, I'm sick of carbon. I'm not doing this carbon that pops up for you now. Okay. Still get that stupid ocean and gas in the middle of the things. It doesn't make any sense for dwarves and stuff. Okay, so we are talking a that would have been an ocean. Let's reroll. 26. Iron. That seems fun. Okay, we're doing an iron dwarf. That sounds rock and roll. Okay, do I have any iron? Nope, I need to go and collect an iron. Okay, so iron. Oh, we already did have an iron. I put iron in instead of silicate. Oh no, our iron and our silicate have the same symbol for some reason. Somebody screwed up. Okay, what's it supposed to be? That is iron. Silicate is just a circle. Okay, so what do we in this? Oh, I have to bring in a new seat for that silicate. But it does mean I can use it over here. Change that size, set dimensions to 15. And that is going to be C2. Okay, I thought it didn't look like a silicate when I did it, but I hoped I would have done it right. Turns out I didn't. Okay, so I just need to pull up and grab that out of all my stuff. Oh, of course, this one isn't even cut out. So, it's like it did not get cut out properly. Okay, I'll just get back to it later then. Okay, so Iron Dwarf, C2. Okay, what is next? Let's keep going. It'll probably be silicate, and I'll be like, damn, I need that silicate icon. That's 59. And according to the book, 59. Ooh, it's a planet. That's pretty cool. I have a moon that I need in there. I think that's going to be this. Okay, what type of planet is it? Probably silicate planet. Okay, I need a silicate planet, alright. 58. And it would be if it wasn't for those other ones in there. Wonderful. So let's just write that down. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to have like a full insulated planet. It's like an Earth around a giant ocean. You have an ocean giant with an Earth floating around it. That's pretty cool, I think. Okay, so a necessarily planet, and then got a lot of moons. 63. And a dwarf. Okay, what type of dwarf are you? 81. Ugh. Let's go with the magmatic. Yes, again, I rolled up the weird one. So dimensions 220. Okay, cool. And then this is going to be see, the descriptions are already cooler. See, I had to run this a little off the cuff on the day because I didn't have the systems done because I had to do some of edits to how you did the system creation, and I didn't know that there was going to be a silicate planet with a magmatic dwarf around it and that sort of thing, which would have been really cool for description. And it's kind of stuff that I find, I think most people, including me, would find very difficult to come up with on the fly. That's spelled correctly. Stop giving me underlines. Okay, so we need one of these magmatics and the symbol. So let's just do that. And cut and paste it again. Don't know I did that. That was very weird. There we go. Awesome. Okay, and the Cthulhian can have bodies around it, but doesn't have to, and I'm going to choose not to because I don't want to spend all day rolling system. Okay, we got Coreless Dwarf. Dwarves can, but I'm not going to. When it comes to the chaotics, you kind of choose whether or not how many you want and stuff a little bit more because they're not going to have as many. But like this carbon planetar definitely should have some chances at having rings and all sorts of things. We've got a giant coreless or a giant carbon planetar out there and a giant gas planetar that's going to take up a lot of space. So let's see what we get. Nothing. Nothing. First two slots are empty. Third slot's empty. Fourth slot's empty. Fifth slot has something in it. Okay. Just a pair of lonely dwarves. Or not. Oh, I got another error. Well then. Okay, pair of dwarfs it is. Guess I know what I'm doing after this, but it's gonna be down here. Let's roll, see what type of dwarf it is. Now we're talking 53. And of course it's a silicate. Pair of silicate dwarves. So we're talking around the carbon planetar. So down here is G1. So pair of carbon silicate there we go. So we're going to H next. See what H1 is going to be. It is also a planetar. Come on, some rings. Nothing. $50. Fucking ice ring. Nice. Okay, so this should be over here actually. This is H1. Okay, so G1's there. This G1 gonna move down. H1's right here. Okay, so this is Ice Ring. Put a ring on it. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. I want to finish today. These are not very satellite-y places. Still, that's another none. It's another none. So, none, none. One more chance to have a ring or something. 36. Asteroid ring. Nice, I don't have one of those yet. Let's get an asteroid ring out of here. Asteroid belt. Where are you, asteroid belt? There we go. Okay, send dimensions on that to 20. And we're going to name that H2. Okay, so got a couple rings around there. One's asteroids and the other one is ice. Got a huge gap in them. That sort of detail you can't come up with very easily on your own. At least I couldn't. That's where the rules help you out. A lot. Okay. Asteroid ring. Means it's a ring of rocks. Not dust. Not ice, just rocky bits. Okay, finally we got an ice small body. They don't get them. Comets don't get them. There we go. That's the system. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to need to name some stuff. And we're going to need to come up with some tags and stuff. Okay, so the book, we got this here. It's all kind of new. We can put habitable bodies on other things. We have magmatics on it or something. We're going to come up with these as we go. So we know the habitable zone is the middle because this is a FGKM main sequence star. And here's other sorts. We can put meteorite storms and all this sort of stuff in. We're going to do this on the fly, so I'm not going to do any more of that. Let's just name a couple places. Okay, so we need a name for our main planet. So, what is New Titan's main watery giant going to be called? As an ocean giant. That is interesting. I'm looking up a couple things. Are we doing that? Okay. What have we named it after? Titania. Something like that. That'd be kind of fun, right? So let's call it that. Okay, we're going to call it. Wait on this. Downey. So that's a pretty cool name. It's Irish folklore, it is the last high queen in Irish folklore. So that's pretty cool. Like that. And we'll probably keep using these sorts of names for the rest of it. So in that system, there's also a silicate dwarf, which would also be the other habitable planet. And I think I called it something in the contract. So look at the contract. We call it Kronos. So, do I like that? Do I want to change it? Let's call it Finvar. And what is the moon's name? We need to come up with a name for the moon. It's got that massive moon. New Titan. It's got a silicate planet, which is the moon of Dione. So we need a good name for that. I think we should call it just Mab. Yeah. Una. Yeah, that's better. I like it. Una. Or maybe with two O's? No, let's do it easier spelling. Una. Okay, so we're gonna change contract a little bit to okay. Okay, so we just need to add Dione to all these. On Dione, line, on Dione. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's go back to New Titan. Okay, so New Titan's got Dione. Oh, we need some evil sounding. Okay, let's give this one a name. Something kind of hellish for it, right? Aomen. And then the silicate dwarf. We already named that Fenvar. We should get that down. Or what did we call it? Not Fenvar, it was Finvar. You just kind of bastardize words and stuff, and you get some pretty cool names for planets. You just don't want to try to think of stuff that doesn't have a weird connotations to the players. Nothing's distracting as that, eh? Just call this little one Lynn. The big one Una. And then Hedis. See, the player's going to care about these because they're close by, so we should name them. Okay, so we probably want to name the rest of the actual orbital bodies. That's what I should say there. I'll go update that too. So lots of problems. Okay. I know naming things is exciting. So let's just do a couple. So this giant glass planetar, let's call it Oberon. And the carbon planetar, how about Albrecht? Alberock. And then finally we'll call this one Merowich. Okay, so we just need the two other carbon giants at the center. We need a name for them. The giant and the planet. So let's call this one Sanguine. So I'm taking all these out of like different names and stuff. For the fairies and people who made them. Shakespeare's and his original source material, that sort of thing. It's a very easy way to come up with names, I find. I think it works really easily, and you get names that people aren't usually, oh, that's a reference to this. Because they either don't know or you change it enough. And then they all sound like they fit together. Like Huon is the son of Sanguine. Sanguine was the Count of Bordeaux. And he's the guy who passed through the forest inhabited by Oberon. Okay, let's give the ice small body a name. Something tiny. We don't need a big name for it. I don't want to call it Mab. Let's call it Mia. And the comet, we need a name for like a flaming staff or something. Call it Kylar. The Comet Kylar. There we go. So, that's pretty much everything we need to name. We have a system. It's totally ready. Okay. Well, thanks to the person or two who dropped by during that. Hopefully it was kind of interesting. You got to see how you can make a system. It's actually very quick, especially if you don't have to go and dig through stuff to find icons. Anyways, thanks for coming. Bye.